This video is another demonstration of the templates I'm using to speed up the hole drilling and then the profiling of Kydex after it's been moulded. This one is my jungle parang for the UK forces. This one's to go to a serving soldier who does the jungle stuff, but it's his personal purchase. So I'm trying to get the prices down on these because at the £200–250 they are a bit expensive for what is most people pay 50 quid for parang, but unfortunately there's not very many ways to do that. One of the ways is obviously to reduce the amount of labour in the Kydex sheath. Obviously it's quite a big piece of Kydex. This is two pieces of 5" by 18" supercam from knife kits, and these are moulded on my big 24" press in the oven in the house because I can't fit it in the toaster oven. So I've been using my little templates to make up the shape. I've got some small ones I had been using and they're fine, but I could only drill 2 or 3 holes or cut 2 or 3 holes worth of lines at a time, and obviously every one, when you change angles and corners, was slightly different. So what I've done for this, because I make a few of them, is to make up a one-piece template for the whole thing. Now because it's so big, I've done this slightly differently. I've got one template here which is just for drilling the holes, and I've got a separate template which clips on over these holes to enable me to run around the outside, whereas most of the time the template you can normally do both with. So as you can see, it's designed to fit round, puts all the holes in the right place. All we have to do is try and locate it correctly the first time. So either puts them all in the right place or all in the wrong place. So about there. I've got my standard 1/4" breadpoint drill in the drill press. Stick a standard Kydex rivet in there. These are the long ones. I find the brass ones are slightly better. Maybe the coating on the other ones makes them a bit fatter, but these slip in and out nice and easily. So that's that one located. Check the position's alright. I'll drill another one. Second location sound like all the templates. When the 2 are in there, it's not moving. Now, so that's all the holes drilled. That used to take, even with my other templates, about 10 or 15 minutes. So we can take that off now. And then we'll move over to the Dremel station and cut the profile. Next, cutting the profile and the slots. So this is the profile template. I did have it up here so that it had the full thing, but obviously it won't fit over with this in here. I may get another one made that I can clip on the halves when they're cut to give that exactly the same shape, but it's not that necessary. Also down here we're going to bump into a filler strip, so we can't cut quite down there yet with the knife still in it. Exactly the same, locates on the holes we drilled. This time I'm using some 1/4 inch pivot pins I have, which are used to bolt the handles on. They're a bit longer because there's quite a big gap between this, but these can work just as well. These are just a little bit more secure. So I've got 3 in there, all the holes line up, so hopefully, let's say this used to again take me about 15 to 20 minutes with the template to go around on individual pieces. Doing a bit here, slotting it, moving it. As before, standard Dremel with a carbide bit. Always best to do it in bits because you need to go over a second time, and it's easier when this burr is still soft. And we're always cutting just the direction of the spin from the right hand side to the left hand side. If you cut this way, it'll climb mill and go, it won't stick on the template so easily, and the cut is not as clean. When the cut's pretty good, you could probably just give that a wipe down for sort of general military use. If you want to polish it up, obviously it's a bit more work to do. So there's the cut, slots in. So some of these have dried up, so they're going to be a bit of a pain to get out. And we just need to tidy up here and obviously finish off the top. Pull the knife out, 3 layers of tape and a couple of filler strips to make it easier to put in and out. Let's just put that back on. There. And then we can just tidy the rest up with the grinder. Grinder now, this is 80 grit warm belt, it's quite noisy, so that's the final shaping done. All we need to do now is just tidy up the edges, and that's on the polishing wheel. This is an odd wheel I managed to find off my polishing company. I'm not sure if this is a special, but it was a 6-inch wheel, but it's sort of like Scotch-Brite, but a lot tougher. It doesn't disintegrate so quickly, although I've worn it down a good inch or so. But it's pretty good for doing Kydex edges, cleaning up steel, all sorts of things. Deeper some of the flash. I think I need a new 5-point drill because it's getting quite blunt. spurs on them, good old thing. Just finish them off with a nice squeeze. One of the things is quite good on this is I've flared and chamfered back the edges of the inlet instead of flaring it out by bending it. Just take them off and lead it in. That helps quite a lot without having to flare things out. And again, this edge here has also been heavily deburred and chamfered back, because that's obviously where the knife goes in and out. You can see the this lump here, the blade is actually this line here. There's a filler strip to block this out, so that obviously this fat bit of the blade, once it goes past this cam lock, pops through there. It's got the same width all along, as opposed to shortening down, it wouldn't come out very easily. And again, the same down here, there's a lump here that fills in the neck, which is scalloped in to give it a thinner handle. Again, that's flared out to stop it locking itself up. Alright, so we just need some drainage holes, rivet it together, give it a final clean around the edge. So rivets, eyelets, eyelets, whatever you want to do. There's 19 in this sheath, every 1.5 inch, and there's an extra one up here at the beginning, because obviously this is all the flex takes place, so that just reinforces that. I use the 810 style, which is 1/4 inch, and the long one's supposed to be for 125 thou 3mm Kydex. They roll down on the 80 thou fine. I prefer it because it gives a bigger, more solid roll. I do get some splits, but I get splits on all the rivets, and I've discovered that it's possibly the dies getting slightly deformed and having a crease or something put in them, which gives you a little jagged edge, and that obviously starts to crack. So on mine I've mounted my arbors up the other way, so it forms on the top, so I can start the form roll and have a quick look at it without having to turn the sheath over to see if it's failed, because it fails as soon as it flips over. Generally, if you get it all the way over, it should press down fine. So let's see how many out of these we can fail. On these, generally on the first rivet, because that's the opening bit, I don't press that quite so tight. That gives you a little bit of play if it's a bit sticky. So they go over it and then roll all the way down to a nice solid donut. These last two I squeeze fairly hard because it pushes this in, gives it a bit more tightness and grip on the handle. And you're lucky there, no splits. As you can see, there's a nice fat roll on there, similar sort of thickness to the front. And as I say, I feel that's a stronger fitting, especially for the environment, military environment this is going into. It's less likely to just bend out the flange and come off or loose. So let's see if we got a working sheath. So I've taken the tape off, quick spray of silicone on the blade, and in there. This is dry silicone, so it dries out and then still keeps water off, which helps keep the grit off. Obviously an oil like WD-40 would glue. So it goes in, shouldn't come out, it might lock out a bit, but then will lock if it jumps out, because you need to pull it out. Comes out nice and easy when you want it. As you can see, it's gripped around here like a normal sheath would. The broke back doesn't mean you can pull it out forwards. You still have to clear the handle to at least there before you can take it out. You can put it in easier by putting it in, and a good solid push. So fits fine, just needs a dangle bracket on it now. So just the bracket, standard 3mm 125 thou Kydex laser cut or water jet cut, bent with a dog leg, best at 45 degrees, or definitely not 90 degrees or too tight, because this will fracture. 1.5 inch webbing strap with a tri-glide to cinch it up to the belt. Obviously this can be adapted to any length. It's 26 inches here, so it can be modified or taken off. Obviously it can be mounted, generally it's mounted on the top position. Obviously it's got lower mountains if you want to change it. These are stainless steel fittings. I always fit these to the guys who are definitely going to the jungle, because obviously it's not going to rust up. I only use steel fittings anyway. Any blade tech stuff I get I bin because it's aluminium. It's not really strong enough, especially for knives of this size. So, pair of posts, couple of spacers, and top of the Chicago screws. Just take those down and nip them up. And there we go.